Hello and welcome to a prospecting video. Today we are going to be forging 3 different items that you can find in the Headless Merchant. If you don't know what the Headless Merchant is, it is a merchant that got released in the game recently in the last update, and it is a merchant that only appears during admin abuse events, and it is very, very OP. You can get items such as the Witch's Hat, the spider bow tie, and an item called the candy sack. And these are all equipment pieces. You have 2 charms, the witch's hat and the candy sack, and then 1 neck piece. Now if you want to know the order of the items, it goes spider bow tie, candy sack, and then witch's hat, because the witch's hat is an exotic, the candy sack is a mythical, and the spider bow tie is a legendary. And before we get started, I am going to be using an item called a perfect reforge token. Now, I have heard these new equipment pieces are very expensive to reforge, so I'm not going to be reforging them. Well, I might with the lower ones like the candy sack and the spider bow tie, because hopefully it's going to be cheaper. But I have heard to reforge the witch's hat, it does cost like $1 trillion. We can actually go and check because apparently the prices did get lowered. So we're going to head to the Fortune River, head to the blacksmith, and just see how much these prices cost. So let's try the witch's hat first. That will cost 500 million. Okay, I did hear this was 1 trillion to reforge, so that is amazing to see that it now costs 500 million. Like, that's nothing. And then the candy sack, let's see how much this one is to reforge. Oh wow, look at that. I've never actually seen the candy sack in game. Whoa. It's just a big candy sack. It's literally exactly what it says on the tin. Now, what is the witch's hat looks like? Whoa. Okay, that's cool. I can't wait to use this item because this item is actually better than antlers. And then let's have a look at the spider bow tie. It's literally just a little spider. So let's see how much the spider bow tie costs to reforge. The spider bow tie costs 150 million. That is a lot of money for a legendary, but it is what it is. And then let's try out the candy sack. How much is this to reforge? I'm going to guess around 250. 300 million. Okay, so we got 150 million, 300 million, and then 500 million. So let's actually start off by reforging the spider bow ties and the candy sacks, because I won't be using a perfect reforge token on these. So let's get these above like 85%, and hopefully I don't go bankrupt. So I am looking for anything above 85%, because I do find that like the sweet spot to use. It's now costing me 400 million, so it is getting a little bit pricey. 86%, that is perfect. And now let's get the other bow tie to above 85. Now this is an item I'm probably never going to use, but I just wanted to get it because the Headless Merchant is a limited time merchant, so it won't be in the game forever. So these item pieces, these are literally limited equipment pieces, so they're very useful to get. 32, ew. Let's try and get something better. 400 million now. 83. That's not bad, but like I said, I am looking for above 85. 86. We just got 2 86 spider bow ties, so that is good. Let's move them back up here, and then we need the 2 candy sacks because we're going to change the percentage on these. Because if you didn't know, when you forge items to a 6-star quality, it is actually better to have 2 high percentages on the items you are converting in the forge. Because what it does, when you forge an item, it takes both of the percentages and then gives you something in between those 2 percentages. So let's say you have an 80% and a 90% candy sack, you will probably get around an 85-86%. 85, dead on, so we'll keep that. And now we move on to the next one. 89%, so we'll take that. So we've got an 85 and an 89% candy sack, meaning we'll probably get around an 87, 89, maybe an 88. Now, I'm not going to be reforging the witch's hats because, like I said, we are using a perfect reforge token. because I do somehow have one. So that is great. Let's head to the forge. So if you don't know how to forge an item, you need 2 5-star quality equipment pieces, and this does require shards instead of money. So let's say we have an 86 and an 86 spider bow tie. We get quality 6-star, and what making a 5-star to 6-star does in difference is you get an extra 10% total on your statistics. So you basically get an extra 10% overall. And this is going to cost me 750 shards and combine. 88! So they were 2 86% and I get an 88. And that's why I always get high percentages before I forge. Now next up we have the candy sack. Wait, I've only got 1 pumpkin lord. I still need to make that a 6-star. We could probably do that in today's video, to be honest. So 2 candy sacks. We got an 85 and an 89, quality 6-star, 1,000 shards, and combine. 90%, look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. And then we got 1 more to do. We got the 2 witches' hats. Quality 6-star, 1,500 shards because they are exotics, and combine. Nice, oh my goodness, look at those statistics just for a 63%. This is going to be amazing. Now, I do want to go see if I can craft another pumpkin lord. Let's go and see that now. Can I craft another pumpkin lord? Oh, I can. Nice. So let's just do that and make that a quick 6-star. We might as well use the ghostly ones of the lost souls. Oh, we do need 10 of them though. Okay, I don't mind using some spooky if it gives me this equipment piece. That's not bad. And then what's our lowest weighted pumpkin soul? A 1.4 kg, no modification, and then radiant gold. I don't mind what radiant golds we use, so that's done. Quality 5-star, 220 million, and craft. 56, so we do need to run that through the reforge. 89% pumpkin lord, and as you see, the size boost is actually very good on this item. So this item, this equipment piece, might be very good in a size boost build. So now we have an 89 and an 86. Magma furnace to the forge and let's go. So we've got 89, 86. Whoa, where's the stats? Whoa, okay, what's happening here? Oh, we're just going to combine it anyway because that just must be glitched. So boom. 1,500 shards, so we get 82%. Oh my goodness. That was a terrible percentage. How did I get so low? How did that just happen? I just got screwed by the forge machine. What? Why did that happen then? But now we're back at the Fortune River, so we can use a perfect reforge token on the witch's hat, because this is the best equipment piece I've ever seen in my life. And I will show you why in a second. So, can I reforge this? So, it keeps the same price, even though it is a 6-star. That's interesting. So, we are going to use a perfect reforge, and boom. So, we now have 1,100 luck, inventory size of 450, modifier boost of 110, and a walk speed of 5.5. But what makes this item so good, obviously, is the luck of 1,100. But you will see a rune called Summit Seeker. And what Summit Seeker does, it gives you a 5% dig and shake speed for every +1 bonus walk speed. And then if we look at the Witch's Hat, you get a walk speed of 5.5 at 100%, 6-star. So that will give me like 25% dig and shake speed just off this equipment piece. So that is truly amazing, especially with 1,100 luck as well. So we actually have a better item than Antlers of Life, because the Antlers of Life is giving me 640 luck, dig speed 44%, modifier boost 220, and the size boost 65. And then the Witch's Hat is giving me luck 1,100, inventory size 450, modifier boost of 110, and walk speed 5.5. So compare that with the Antlers of Life. The only thing you're really missing out on is the dig speed, which doesn't really matter, and like half of the modifier boost. But you gain like nearly double the luck, and you gain the walk speed as well. So this is going to be a very, very fast equipment build. So the build I'm going to be using today is Frostform Pendant, Witch's Hat, both 100%, and then 2 Vortex Rings 100%, and then 5 Umbrite and 1 Mithril. Because apparently this is the best build in the game, so let's go and see how this build does. Oh, look at me in my Witch's Hat. Actually looks really cool, I like it, I like it. So we're now on the public server. You probably want to see my statistics before we start, so here we go. We have a base luck of 16,812. We have a dig strength of 881, a capacity of 4,636, a dig speed of 212%, a shake strength of 148, an inventory size of 450. If we look in our inventory, you will see that I now have 1,450 capacity in my inventory. We have a shake speed of 278%. We have a cell boost of 44%, a size boost of 194%, and a modifier boost of 120. And most importantly, we have a walk speed of 10. Do you know how fast this build is going to be? Whoa, look how fast I'm moving. Look at this. I'm basically running. I'm literally running around the map. Oh my goodness. And this is not even the fastest you can be. Like, you can change the build around to have even more walk speed, but this is so rapid. Now, we're going to head into the Halloween zone, because, ooh, my cauldron's ready. I'm going to guess 86. 88, I was so close. Right, we do need to fill this back up. Now, I did get my 30 minutes of 2 times luck, so we do have 10 minutes left of that. Now, there isn't any totems here. I wonder why. There's not any people digging. Should I try switching server to see if there's any totems? You know what? Let's try once. And then if there's no totems, then we'll just put down our own. Also, this is the fastest way to server hop if you're on PC, by the way. Literally just press leave and have the game page open. And then you can literally just server hop. I see totems. Okay, that was worth it. I don't have to spend money on totems because this is 15 minutes worth of totems, all of the totems. So we now have 19,789 luck. But if we go into our shop and watch this quick 5 to 6 second ad, we'll have even more luck. And remember, this is without a meteor shower as well. So we now have 21,650 luck. If we put on like the abyssal pan, we would have more. But I have been using the Halloween pan and shovel because I do actually think they're pretty good. So let's see what the digging is like with this build now. Okay, so it takes 3 hits to fill the pan. That's pretty much normal with 5,500 capacity. And you might be wondering where I'm getting the extra like 1,000 capacity from. I'm getting it from this totem called, I can actually show you this in my inventory, called a Luminant Totem, an enchanted totem that boosts the speed and capacity of others, protects against darkness. And that's where I'm gaining like an extra 1,000 capacity, so 2.5 digs to fill my pan is not bad at all. So we're going to test this build for about 10 minutes. But as you can see, when we shake, it is actually pretty fast. It's not bad at all. And we gained like a ton more luck as well by using this, apart from the Antlers of Life. Because we are missing the 44% from the Antlers of Life, but we're gaining so much more on the other stats that it's worth using above anything else. Like, I generally believe this Witch's Hat is the best equipment piece in the game currently. Now, if you are wondering what museum I am using to gain this much luck, then you can check out one of my luck museum videos. I'm pretty much using the same museum I was using all that time ago when I made the video. But I will be changing stuff around because now there's a lot more items in the game from this Halloween area. I probably will be changing around my museum a bit. So I'll update you when I do. I'll be making a museum video very soon. So my final thoughts on this equipment build. It does seem actually quite good, this new Witch's Hat. I am a fan. And I do feel like it has sped up my shaking a little bit. I really do. Because look how fast 5.5k capacity disappears. We can actually count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 seconds to shake 5,500 capacity. But also, it is quite nice that my inventory is now 1,450. Because if we take a little scroll down, you will see all of these legendaries. So it is made getting ghostly and spooky legendaries a lot more easier as well. So this is how many ghostlies we've farmed in the past, like, I want to say like 10 minutes. So it's not terrible. Let's just sell everything else. But now my daily luck has ended, I think this is where we're going to end. So my base luck has gone back down to 14,206 because I was getting an extra 2,000 base luck from my 2 times luck. But that is going to be the end of the video. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like. And if you really enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with your daily prospecting content. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.